Hello, welcome back to another of my pipe smoking videos. I'm standing here by this rather beautiful oak just off a country lane in the middle of nowhere really. I'm on my way to pick up some bits and pieces, and because I'm going to be away over the weekend itself, I thought I'd do my pipe smoking video today en route, and so I've just stopped off and found this lovely oak tree, and it's a beauty. So welcome along. It makes a change to be out and about, and today I've got my small pipe. I don't know whether that will focus or not, it may not, and I'm going to smoke. This is called, what is it called? Fibra and Treya, I think that's what it's called. It's 34 mixture. I'll do that and then you can get a viewing of it. Hopefully that has focused. And I have opened this just recently, so we'll give it a try. It's quite nice to have a puff, is it not, outside in the country. Now I know some pipe smokers prefer not to smoke indoors. Perhaps they have their own little cabin somewhere, or a garage, converted garage, or a shed, something like that. And others perhaps are permitted to smoke in just one room. At home I smoke where I blooming well like, but occasionally, and I find it more satisfying actually to smoke indoors, because I like to see the smoke, and it reminds me it's actually going when you can see the smoke. I don't tend to smoke on the move very much. Maybe if I'm pottering in the house I might have a puff, but I tend not to smoke if I am on a walk, because the smoke just sort of drifts behind you, which is no good. No good to me. So this is a rough cut, and it doesn't seem to have any aromatic properties as such, so I quite like. I think it's more of an English blend. Perhaps you know more than I do. I haven't looked it up, I'm afraid to say. I don't know if that's a bit dark in the frame. I always think that it's darker than it really is. So let me just have a little gander here. I might just fiddle. Is that, no, that's darker. Is that lighter? Is that better? There we go. Anyway, I got my lighter. I'm under a tree, you see. It is actually a nice day. A little bit of bird song, not a lot today. There we go. And it's a nice smooth smoke. The thing is, there's so many of these tobaccos really that they all kind of taste a bit samey, even though there's lots of these different mixtures, and someone will say, oh yes, that's mixture 34, that is, and then there'll be another one, 369 I think is another one, and I think to myself, is there any ruddy difference at all? Are we all being a bit duped? But it is fun to try, you know, why not? Try it out, try a different tobacco from time to time and see what's going on. So this is very nice. So I'm off to a gentleman, hang on a minute, it looks, sorry, I'm playing about with the old, can't quite get that. I'm hoping the focus is working. This is not my usual camera, funnily enough, this is a different camera. And different cameras have different ways of doing things. Some cameras excel at focusing. Other cameras excel at stabilization. Other cameras have a better lens system. Other cameras are much better in low light and offer better parameters. Now you see, the sun's come out and it all looks a bit, there we are. I don't know what I'm doing really. I ought to put it on auto. But I, as a filmmaker, when I'm behind the camera, I know what I'm doing because I can actually see the picture. But I'll leave it like this, whatever. You can hear me, can't you? That's the main thing. Yeah, so different cameras have different things. And the thing is, people change their cameras, don't they, very frequently, it seems, because that's the pressure of commercialism, is to, well, we've got some more features you might like. And actually, I use the very basic features. And it was interesting, I don't know if you watch Father John, but he bought himself a Leica, an old-fashioned analogue Leica with 35mm film. I used to have far, far lower than that on the status of cameras, I'm afraid to say. I used to have a Zenith. It was a Zenith. My dad had a Zenith and I bought a Zenith. Mine was a Zenith E, Russian thing. Bloody marvellous though, because you could drop it. And at the end of the day, the mechanics of those old cameras were just brilliant. It was really down to the lens, because the mechanics of the camera doesn't really change once you've got them working and you're filming at, I don't know, 125th of a second or whatever, and you've got the right speed of film in there, I don't know, something like 200 ASA, or on a day like this 100 ASA, then it's down to your lens really and your composition. And then if you're developing it yourself, it's down to your skills on all of that. So, but these days everything's done for you, isn't it? Cameras, it's all on auto. People don't think about it. They don't. And for me, that's always been a bit of a worry. I always like, where possible, to be on manual. And it does bite me in the bum from time to time, because when you're on manual, you know, the sun will go in and the sun will go out. And as you'll see, you'll be fiddling in video with it, whereas when it's on auto, it can auto detect. But if you've got a light background like this behind me, it will automatically light for that background and not necessarily for the subject, whereas manually you can light, as it were, for the subject, even though you're not using lights, you're just using sunlight or available light. Anyway, I didn't mean to get onto cameras then. I just waffling, enjoying. Well, this is the whole point, isn't it, of pipe smoking. And these, I don't know why I need to apologise really, because this is what the pipe, for me, the pipe smoking concept and channel is about, having interesting conversations, but not getting too boring. I think there's a red kite that's just flown past. See, now the wind has come up. I'm just going to... If you're enjoying the out and about smoking, let me know, because it's nice to be out and about a bit, isn't it, from time to time in the country. And at some point Julia and I will be more out and about in the country, because we're buying a piece of land, and when we've got it, we'll take you up. I think there's some trees on it, nice trees, I think, and we will show you. But that will be over on the English Couple channel, and we'll show you what we do with it. We're not 100% sure what we're going to do with it really, but we will certainly have it to escape from the town from time to time, you know, grow some veg. That's one of the plans. And I believe there's a 60-day rule. It used to be 28 days, but some guy was on a channel saying now there's a 60-day rule that you can camp over for 60 days throughout the year. So that would be handy. You might not want to camp out in the middle of winter, you see. But you can still visit. And it's a start, you know, it's a start. Eventually, who knows, we might find a house nearby, or we sell it all up, sell my house, move to Scotland or somewhere. I was watching a guy this morning on YouTube, and he'd bought this farm, and he's walking through this forest, and he's bought land. I don't know how much land it is, but he's just walking gently through the farm. Nice chap. It must have got pockets of money. Sorry, it's all gone dark again. It's all gone dark, bear with me. Must have got pockets of money, because he said, oh, this is the forest. It says about 15 acres. About 15 acres just of woodland, Kept calling it a forest, but that's actually not the correct term. A forest is comes from a French word, and it can mean sort of a mixture of heathland, woodland, marsh. It's just an expanse of varying landscape, really, that's uninhabited. Well, it can be inhabited by small hamlets and things, but it's very much open land and enclosed land in terms of open by trees, by grass and trees. I may not have explained that terribly well, but most people say forest when they think of trees, when they actually mean woodland, and that's self-explanatory. I think they think forest is a word given over to when it's large, a large wooded area. They might say, well, that's a forest, but the forest can have open bits in it. Anyway, I know that because I read a couple of books by Oliver Rackham. It's all gone. Has it gone light again? I don't know. I can always turn it down in the edit. Probably won't bother. But isn't it? It's peaceful. I can hear bees. I can hear in the distance sheep. You probably can't hear that. I'm surprised we haven't seen the road is just there. It's just there, and nobody's driven past. It's just a little area here before the farmer's fields, just there. And I'll be on my way to pick up this stuff. You'll be saying, well, what stuff is it, Richard? What stuff? You're on your way to see somebody and pick up this stuff. Well, it's stuff to do with the land we're buying. But I don't want to give it away in this video. Got to have something to look forward to. It'll be in the next, well, it'll be in the English couple video, really. I don't know if I will. I mean, it depends, because we're in this process of buying, and you know what it's like. You're waiting for solicitors to do their thing, and it's just hanging about time, hanging about. So I thought today I'll stop, and I just saw this tree, and I thought there's a perfect place. Pulled over, walked up here, because I had to park the van down there somewhere, and walk up to this tree, and here we are. Anyway, I don't know how long I've done. The wind is blowing now. Where does it say on this? I don't use this camera as much as I use the other camera. 13 minutes. Now, that's a short one, isn't it? But I think you get the idea. It's just something. As I say, I can only really do these once a week. It's all gone very bright now. If I'm behind the camera, I can tell much better, as you will appreciate. This is nice tobacco, though. I don't know if I'll buy it again. It's got a nice nicotine hit. I do like a nicotine hit. That's always good. So do you prefer, here's the question, do you prefer to smoke indoors with a glass of something, or do you know, if there was a park bench here, it would be perfect, although apart from the road, when, well, I don't suppose I haven't seen any lorries, it's just a sort of tiny windy road, but you know, if this was an expanse, let's say, or it was, well, looking that way, I guess, would you prefer to smoke outdoors? Do you smoke in the garden? I guess that's the thing, isn't it? if you've got a garden, or a veranda, or down at the local park. We saw a bloke some months ago now, at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of spring, and he was sitting in the park, and I said to him, I think we spoke about this, we may have done, I said to him, it's so nice to see a pipe smoker. Turns out he smoked, I think it was Clan, all his life. Do you smoke the same stuff all your life? Have you got your favourite brand? Or like me, even though I'm about 18 months to 2 years in to smoking and I'm enjoying it thoroughly, are you still on that quest? There you go, they're the questions of the day. Right, I better get on, because I did allow 20 minutes to stop, do this, and then get on to see this chap and pick up this stuff. What stuff? What is it? What is the stuff? It's just stuff. Anyway, I will catch you on the next one. Until next time, toodle, what is it? Toodle pipe. Toodle pipe. Toodle pipe.